have a prayer and followed by Pledge of Allegiance, please. Heavenly Father, as we celebrate the beauty of fall, may the leaves remind us to see the beauty in each individual child we serve. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Emmett, could we please have the roll call?
Mrs. Fiorella?
Here.
Mr. Hawk?
Here.
Mr. Gogolski?
Here.
Mr. Enslin?
Here.
Mr. Gershi?
Here.
Mr. Gambita?
Here.
Mr. Auckland?
Here.
Mr. Schaefer?
Here.
Mr. Wood?
Here.
Solicitor Meir is excused. Dr. Barrett?
Here.
Ms. Galiski?
Excused.
Ms. Emmett is here. Mr. Gogorski?
Here.
Mrs. Donahue? Here. Mr. Pigeon?
Here.
Mrs. Miller? Here. Mrs. Bradley?
Here.
Ms. Watson?
Here.
Mrs. Fitzsimmons?
Here.
Mrs. La Rosa? Here. Ms. DeKnight?
Here.
Mrs. Gregory?
Excused.
Mrs. Liptak? Here. Mr. Seaman?
Here.
Mr. Dunda?
Here.
Mr. Black?
Here.
Madam President, you have 9 board members present.
Thank you. Could I please have a motion for number 5, please?
I move that we approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on September 10th, 2018.
I'll second that.
The motion was made by Bill and then seconded by Rick. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. And any abstaining. The motion does carry. Could I please have a motion for number 6, please?
I move to accept the treasurer's reports from the general and food service accounts.
I'll second.
The motion was made by Jeff and then seconded by Ethan. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. And any abstaining? The motion does carry. Could I have a motion for number 7, please?
I move to accept the approval of bills from the general and food service accounts.
Second.
Again, the motion was made by Jeff and then seconded by Ethan. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. And any abstaining? The motion does pass. Any questions on accounting of taxes? Mr. Gregorski, we have student recognition.
Thank you, Madam President. We would like to recognize 2 outstanding seniors this evening. The first of which is Allison Mattern. Allison is the daughter of Brian and Michelle Mattern of Lake Area.
Good evening. I would like to start by thanking the board for taking this time to recognize me tonight, for my parents for everything that they've done for me, and for all of my teachers here who challenge me every single day to be the best that I can be. If I had to sum up my high school career in one word, I would definitely use busy. On the academic side of things, I have taken every honors and AP course that I could fit into my tight schedule, and this year it consists of 5 AP classes. I'm consistently ranked in the top 2 in the class with Beta Pentoski, and I've received the Principal's List Award for 11 quarters. I'm also a member of the Gifted program here at school, and I've worked really hard on my grades and also towards my tests for the SAT and the ACT, and I'm proud to say that I've received a 1470 on my SAT out of 1600 and a 33 out of 36 on my ACT, which thankfully opens me up to look at some more competitive colleges. As far as extracurriculars go, I was recently chosen to be a member of the Scholastic Kings, so I'll be representing Western Wayne at that this year. In my freshman year, I was a member of NAHS, the National Art Honor Society, when I took an art class. I graduated from Tomorrow's Leaders Today program last year as one of 2 graduates, when I got to learn a lot of helpful communication skills, leadership skills, and how to be a successful member of the community. I was also accepted this summer into the PEER program, which stands for Pathways in Ecological Research, which is sponsored by Lackawanna Sanctuary, so I'll be getting to do a PJAS project with that, with a small grant from Lackawanna Sanctuary and help from a actual researcher in science, so that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I've been a 3-year member of the National Honor Society. This year I am currently serving as president, and we're working with the other officers to really drum up a lot more volunteer hours for that. I've been a member of the marching and concert band here for 4 years. I've served as public relations and librarian in the past, and this year I've served as band president and also low brass section leader, which has been by far the biggest responsibility that I have had. And it's been a lot of self-confidence work this year. I actually marched my last field show in a long dress successfully because I was part of the homecoming corps, which is an opportunity that I never saw myself doing, but I'm very glad that I got that opportunity. I've been a member of FBLA for 4 years. I would like to really thank Mrs. Lubosh and Ms. B, who pushed me every day to study very hard. It's been a lot of early mornings and missed study halls these past 4 years, but it's really paid off. I've been able to earn 3 first-place regional awards, 2 first-place state awards, 1 second-place state award, and 2 second-place national awards, which I would really like to thank the board for the national awards, because without your support, I never would have been able to make it to nationals, and that's been a tremendous experience. I've also attended 2 state leadership workshops for FBLA, one in Harrisburg and one at Kalahari, which have been also amazing experience and really helped fine-tune some leadership skills. I've been a member of varsity tennis for 4 years. I'm currently serving as co-captain. I received my freshman year the Most Improved Award at this sports banquet, and last year I received Most Valuable Player. I have been playing first singles on the tennis team for the past 2 years, which again has been a big confidence builder because I go up against a lot of more powerful and well-rounded girls than I am. But I go out there and I try my hardest. This year our record is 9 wins and 4 losses, so that means we're going to districts for our 3rd year in a row. And we've been making a lot of history with that so far. Last year we got to host the first district playoff match at Western Wayne High School in girls tennis history, I believe. Outside of school, I've been an active member of my parish community. I've been a member of youth group for 5 years, I believe now. I currently serve as vice president, and I've also altar served for 10 years at my church. In the about 7 hours of spare time on my weekends that I have, I've held a part-time job at the Dairy Queen in Orange Julius in the Viewmont Mall. And my future plans have really been shaped by my amazing science teachers here at Western Wayne, Mrs. McClure and Ms. Masenkai. Something that Ms. Masenkai had said to me last year really shaped how I want to be in this world. And it said, you may not change the world, but you just might get a whole lot closer to the solution than anyone ever thought possible. And with that, that's really helped me learn what I want to do with my life, and right now it's to attend a 4-year college to either study biochemistry or biomedical engineering and go into scientific research. And that's about it. Thank you for listening to how my life has been for the past 4 years and my accomplishments, and thank you.
Thanks very much, Allison. If we can have your parents be recognized, please. Also with us tonight, we'd like to recognize Veda Pontoski. Veda is the daughter of Marnie and Richard Pontoski of Lake Ariel.
Hello everyone, I don't have this memorized, but good morning and thank you board members, Mr. Barrett, Ms. Flisky, Mr. Gorski, Ms. Bradley, faculty, and most importantly my mom and dad. I would not be here today without your constant support. My favorite subjects are math and science. I have proudly taken all the science courses Western Wayne has to offer. AP Chem, AP Bio, AP Physics 1 and 2, and Anatomy have been my electives for the past 4 years. I would like to give a special thank you to Ms. Masenkai and Ms. McClure for expanding my horizons and pushing to meet my fullest potential. One of my favorite extracurriculars is TSA, and TSA has been a part of my life since middle school. Mr. Roop's passion for STEM and competitiveness helped mold my intellectual desire and dedication. My favorite event is scientific visualization. This event requires participants to create a 3D animation on a STEM topic of their choosing. I have animated osmosis through the red blood cells, epigenetics, and immune therapy. Last year, my team finally placed first place at the state conference. We've been trying at this for the past 3 years, and we finally got it. And we beat Scranton Prep, our arch rivalry. So we were really proud of that. I am also involved in PJS. This year, I plan on testing the effects of UV nail light on microorganisms because my hobby outside of school is painting my nails, and whenever I paint my nails in this UV light, I get this weird stinging sensation in my fingernails, and I feel like cells are being destroyed. So I want to see what it does on the molecular level. This past summer, I was granted a Geisinger School of Medicine fellowship and shadowed clinical pharmacists and genetic counselors. Currently, I am captain of the varsity soccer team and was a varsity captain for the soccer team last year. If you can't find me in the lab or on the field, you can find me volunteering as a youth advisor on the Wayne County Children and Youth Committee, in Girls Lead, or NHS. Western Wayne has provided me with endless opportunities and exceptional education. I'm eager to continue my education and plan on following my passions and majoring in biochemistry and becoming a physician's assistant, pharmacist, or genetic counselor. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Veda. And if we could have your parents stand and be recognized, please.
I just want to say on behalf of the board, you ladies are so very impressive, and your future is going to be so full and bright. So congratulations on your hard work. Your parents could be very proud. So congratulations again. If you both would like to leave, you're more than welcome at this time.
Thank you.
And then we'll open it up to the public if anyone has anything that they would like to say, any comments. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I know last year we had
Could you just state your name for the...
Dana DiCiato. Last year we had discussed the barricade systems, and I know that they came in, we saw them and whatnot. Has any progress been made with those? Because we spoke to some of the teachers and they said it hasn't been implemented yet.
What, we did find that they do violate fire code, so there's an issue with having those in the classroom. We are looking at alternatives. We're currently looking at, there's a safety and security grant that came out. We added a second school police officer, so we're going to hopefully use the funds from the grant to offset some of the costs of that. We're looking at door security, security film on the entrances into the buildings. We're doing safety drills, conducting several throughout the course of the year. We did a self-audit assessment from the Department of Homeland Security, our administrators, Mr. Dunda, our Officer Semler. It was a very thorough breakdown of various facets of, even from the parking spaces to lighting, and very detailed. We actually went over that today we have a safety committee that we formed with all the building principals and various other members of the administration. So we're doing quite a bit, but we're still looking for a solution for the doors at this point. I know there's recommendations on both sides, and it's a tough decision, but we're doing stuff procedurally in the meantime to make sure that we're prepared. Okay?
I was looking on the calendar. I didn't see anything for your annual Veterans program this year. I was wondering if you've had a date yet.
I don't believe we have a date yet. Mr. Rodak is currently working in the background to get that established, get that all scheduled.
Because I had some questions from the veterans. Last year's program was so amazing with the auditorium, and they were really looking forward to this year. And of course, there are some new members of the community that are really interested in this, including one of our commissioners, Wendell, was at one of the events this weekend, so he was really impressed to see what this district is doing for our veterans, how we honor our veterans. He thought that was
Yeah,
amazing.
it's a great assignment.
Yes.
Everybody does a great job.
Yeah,
So we're
that was
looking forward
really, really impressive. It's great to let the kids be part of that too. And I
Absolutely.
understand that the veterans, the Wayne County Veterans Affairs Office has a new leader down there, Mr. Legg.
Okay.
He's going to be meeting, so hopefully I'll be going down with the commander from the Waymart Legion. I'll be talking to him, letting him know that, you know, this community is definitely interested in continuing an active relationship with their group and let them know what great things are going on up here.
Thank you
Western
very
Wayne.
much. That'd be great.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Hi, Steve Rawson. I just have a quick question. Is there anywhere on the website where there's bios for each board member and the administration? I didn't see anything on there to, you know, what you're doing now, what you're...
Just photos at this point for
Just photos.
administrators and board members. We do have staff emails, but no formal bios.
Okay. And I know there's a breakdown I've seen on the website of, you know, which students went to which colleges and universities. Does anyone track, I don't know who tracks that information, does anyone track, say, what career paths they've chosen, you know, what majors, or if they're undecided, that sort of information?
Well, yes and no. There's going to be more of a push to do that through the state. They're coming out with the system to help track that information. We don't necessarily have the pathways thereafter. We do primarily colleges and universities, military, or to work.
Okay.
Vocational, whatever it might be. But that hopefully will be in place in the next couple of years. I know our guidance department has put forth a 339 plan that statewide is recognized as one of the best. And they actually just presented at the local intermediate unit, but part of that plan, through that plan, you'll see more of that type of information come out.
Okay. That's all I had.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Erica, did I miss anything on that?
I think you got it.
Okay.
Brenda Lanza. I'm here as a taxpayer. I'm officially off the clock for my lunch. And anybody who knows me knows I have to speak my mind. So a couple years back, the district found money in grants and such. Anyway, it just seems as though there's been a lot of hirings, like 2 administrative positions at high salaries, high benefit packages. As an employee, you have a lot of good apples, you have some bad apples, just like any other workforce. My question as a taxpayer is, before any more hiring or whatnot, maybe there should be, as a taxpayer, a review to say, is everybody working at their full potential? Is this a need we have? Is this necessary? It just seems as though there could be a lot of waste cut. And nothing said is personal. Anything I say is not personal. But Mr. Dunda's great, but I had an issue last week, and I approached Mr. Dunda. He said refer it
I'm
to...
sorry, we can't talk about personnel in a public meeting.
Okay, well, blown off. I was basically blown off, and I had to cut the chain of command.
But this would be better addressed
Okay.
through administrative.
But as a taxpayer, maybe we should, before hiring anybody else, we should ask, because contract time will be coming up eventually for the teachers in the ESP, and that's when the public gets involved. So when the public says, why do they deserve 10 cents an hour, or why do they deserve this, how are we going to justify where all the money is spent otherwise, when there really is no need?
Every position we look at, we scrutinize thoroughly to determine need, to determine what the job description of a potential position may be. We look to cut positions in certain areas, which we've done throughout as well. So even though we did add a couple positions, there were other positions that we were able to not fill in order to address needs that we have concerns about within the district, and in order to maintain everything we have from educational standpoint to a buildings and grounds standpoint to an extracurricular standpoint. We want to make sure we have the proper personnel in place, and we would do so every year on an annual basis, we review our staffing needs.
And as a taxpayer, how do you come across, if somebody says it wasn't needed in the past, why do you need it now? What's the understanding for that? If nothing has changed, the numbers are the same and everything's the same, why the change now? If we were asked.
Well, I believe the needs of the district changed, and various parts of the district are different in terms of technology, infrastructure. We just did several $1 million worth of renovations. We want to make sure we're maintaining that properly and having a preventative maintenance schedule in place so that we don't get whacked with the enormous bill, where if we took care of things along the way, we'd be in a much better situation. We would be able to plan properly down the road.
So it's for preventative in the future, basically. I'm just asking.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Thank you.
Among several, yes.
Thanks.
I have another question based on that. So you said you went to Mr. Dunda?
I can't speak about that.
Okay. What is an employee supposed to do if they go to, I'm guessing, for Superior and nothing happens? Is it, what's her, I just don't know what the recourse is. Does she go to the, they go to the union, or is it?
There are channels that you can direct your questions or concerns, varying levels of administrative personnel, I guess, that you can go through.
So is it acceptable if you're at one channel and you're not getting any help to try other channels, or?
Absolutely.
And
going up the chain, of course, and I know several of us offer, although we'll probably come back to the chain of command. We're always open to any kind of input from anybody, and then we'll try to get it through the proper channels to make sure that it's addressed.
Okay.
Sometimes favorably, sometimes not.
Yeah. It seems incredibly frustrating if you don't know, where to go, or you're getting
There's a
blocked
new
at
chart.
every
We just
angle.
adopted a new chain of command actually last month's meeting. A new chart that shows exactly where you're supposed to go up the line.
Any other questions? Okay, great, thank you. The enrollment number 11 is there for you to look over. Numbers did go up. Could I also have a motion for number 12, please, overnight trips?
I recommend that the Board of Education approve the following overnight trips and chaperones for the 2018-2019 school year as listed.
Okay.
I'll second it.
The motion was made by Gary and then seconded by Rick. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Any abstaining? The motion does pass. Motion for number 13, please.
Move that the Board of Education approve the new transportation contracts for the 2018-19 school year at state formula. A, contract for Hinge Busing, van number 128, Lake Erie, Wayne Highlands, effective September 24th, 2018. B, contract with Herbert Black Transportation, van number 125, Hamlin and New Story, effective September 24th, 2018.
Second.
Motion was made by Joe and then seconded by Bill. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Any abstaining? The motion does pass. Could I have a motion for number 14, please?
Recommended that the Board of Education approve the following extension to transportation contractors at state formula